you can't have nothing until you accept accountability. You can't have anything worth having if somebody don't take accountability.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have finances, money, a decent quality of life with no accountability. Outcomes reflect your accountability.
Otherwise, you'll repeat the same decisions and
Echo
behaviors
chamber.
over and over again.
Echo chamber, just caught in your own way, because you can't have nothing until you accept accountability. You can't have anything worth having if somebody don't take accountability.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have finances, money, a decent quality of life with no accountability. Outcomes reflect your accountability.
Otherwise, you'll repeat the same decisions and
Echo
behaviors
chamber.
over and over again.
Echo chamber, just caught in your own way, because you can't have nothing until you accept accountability. You can't have anything worth having if somebody don't take accountability.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have finances, money, a decent quality of life with no accountability. Outcomes reflect your accountability.
Otherwise, you'll repeat the same decisions and
here's the thing. I'm late generation X. So our men, those of us that were born with strictly with no male up, rearing in our home, we're gonna have to go out and learn what that is.
mm-hmm.
We have an idea what it is. We know we kind of know, we see it, but we're gonna have to go out and learn what that is. Whether that be find some coaching or some other mentorship, like or even your peers that got a little bit more manhood than you do, and that's a little bit hard to swallow.
Yep. You got to swallow that pride.
Mentorship, that's the thing. This whole discussion is about community mentorship. That's what this is. Mm-hmm. We know, a lot of people don't have therapists, and there's a lot of people that are therapists that are in this. There's a lot of professional Black men that have accomplished something. Like, I'm 44 years old. Look at the level of discussion. Within our own networks, within our own phones, there are people that can solve most problems. You know, and when you start going down the list of who calls you with problems, solutions, and opportunities, that list gets very short. And when you start thinking about it, the places where you respect information and the source of where it comes from, does it come from men or does it come from the women in your life?
Well, no, most of my information now come from men.
Yeah, and that's my point. This is why, we have men have to be about their purpose, and when you're on your purpose, you align with other men that are purposeful. A little bit about myself: I'm an author. A couple of books right here. The Code, and it's a blueprint to solidarity among reasonable Black people. So it's meant to create a conversation where we can, actually share experiences and not overtalk each other, and actually have dialogue. Because a lot of our words are really, all synonyms, like you may say bless, you may say another word that compares to that. And generally speaking, we all want the same outcomes. So, I just want to be a part of the conversation and see where I can chime in, where it makes sense. And one of the parts that you guys were talking about is, the act of submission in general, right? And the pastor's already spoken on it from a biblical context. I'm going to talk about it from more of a structural context, because these are still the components that go into it. A lot of times when we talk about submission, we don't know how to frame the conversation to get the conversation, to get the outcome that we want. And a lot of times when they hear submit, it goes right into a primal, you want me to do something that shows obedience to you in a forceful way. Yeah, exactly. They think of it in an extreme, okay? And the reason they think in extremes like that is because they think from their feelings. Okay. So when you think from feelings in a place of desperation, you're going to come out with fear in most cases. Okay. So put a pin in that part right there. Men are not afforded the opportunity to live in fear and make decisions in fear. So we have to come up with.
Say that again. Say that one more. That went by too fast. Way too fast.
Yeah.
So one more time. Men are not afforded to do what?
Men are not afforded the opportunity to make decisions out of fear.
And why is that?
Because everybody dies when we make the wrong decision. Because You know what I'm saying? If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and we're talking about men that fit the behavior that I'm describing, because all men don't fit the same behavior, just like all women don't fit the same behavior, you know. But generally speaking, we teach discipline, we teach code, we teach ethics, and you don't see men ending up in situations where they have to go be corrected, like in prison, and women run the prison. They work there, they part of the prison demographic, but you got to have some credible institutional control, and you don't have credible institutional control without men involved. Glad you made it this far. First thing I want you to do is go ahead and click subscribe. Make sure you like and share and support, and subscribe to the notifications. Then when you get here, I want you to click the podcast link. You see that? Then I want you to go over there to where the arrows are pointing to the Beyond the Algorithm playlist, and subscribe there. That way you get all of the updates. And now we'll continue. Number one. The other part is, when have you seen women work together? And what have they ever accomplished together? You know, when have you seen women be corrected by other women? Women don't even submit to each other. If you take men out of all of their problems, look at how they communicate with each other. Let that marinate for a second. Now, they reinforce their communication with each other. In most cases, it's usually beef between mothers, daughters, nieces, aunts, and everybody else in the family. You don't see uncles and nephews boxing each other, you know what I'm saying, when they hanging out. All right.
Not normally. Anytime
you got any beef in the family, if you do the investigation and start with the women, you'll probably end with the women. Okay.
Yep.
So and
I told my grandmother that she has 4 girls and 3 boys, and my mother and my aunts are always at war with each other, like openly. It don't. They could be at church. They could be at church.
It don't
the
matter.
Grocery store. They warring. When there's disagreement amongst the boys, my uncles, myself and my uncles, when there's disagreement amongst us, you know what we do?
Talk it out.
Well, that
box it out.
That, but more likely than not, when there's severe disagreement, space is given.
Space.
You know what, dude? I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks or a month, or maybe next year if we make it that long. That's what we do. We're not going to sit out there in general. We're not going to sit out there because men understand something real important.
Do we ever look at what we do to women, though?
Hold on a second.
I'm going to get to that.
Do we ever look at what we do to women? I hear everything is on us, but it's not everything we have done to women over the years.
It's about certain men that fit the behavior. See, if we narrow it down to behavior, if you don't fit the behavior, it is not on us.
We ain't really getting to the core of the problem. Yes, women want that man, but why do they want that man? Because what we did to them before they even came up, we picking up pieces to the puzzle.
We ain't did nothing.
What do we do? What do we do to them?
Those are choices.
What do we do?
All of this comes down to outcomes.
So tell me this. Is it about, okay, say we pick a woman. We don't know what she's been through in the past.
What does that got to do with me?
How we gonna ask her to submit? What we gonna give her to submit to? If we can't
what did I just say earlier? We have a problem with framing the conversation about submission and then not understanding. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. Like, here's the thing. The conversation that we talking about when it comes down to submission, it's about making choices. It's about picking the battles that are worth fighting to win for the overall good. It's a difference between being right and being righteous. Okay.
For me,
like everybody got to accept everybody has to accept the decisions that they've made up to a certain point. Like, yeah, you don't know what she's been through. Hell, everybody don't know what anybody been through. You know what I'm saying? So now we got a clean slate, and now you got to deal with your feelings in a responsible communication between your heart and your mind. You don't. Nobody else is responsible for anybody else's trauma. Nobody else is responsible for your triggers or your trauma but you. You go get therapy.
Yep.
We don't know what she been through.
Yep.
She need to sit and fix that first. That's choices. Men always have to take everybody else's responsibility for how they feel and how they was raised. We just sit up here talking about how women in general communicate with each other. Look at how they reinforce their communication with each other. And then look, when we're trying to make it make sense. I'm not, hold up. I need to make this point. Because it's gonna get lost in translation. See, you have to look at how they communicate with us, because it's based on how they communicate with each other. Then they think that communication translates to what we understand. And then we never hit each other in the right spots. Now it looks like we trying to be better than them and they trying to be better than us. And the reality is we need to find a better way to be complementary. All of the arguing and stopping and interrupting people from finishing their conversations are going to keep people from missing the point. And if you look at that behavior, who does that more, men or women?
The reality is women have seen how we treated them since the time they was born to the time up to now. And we supposed to be, oh, okay. No, they have been going through these things and seeing these things, and they just ain't up for it no more. They're not down with it no more. They'd rather have you to be the side man. It's a deal. It's not even a relationship anymore. It's a partnership.
You can only have the relationship that you can afford.
That's it. They only want you for this, this, and that. They want to be treated like a queen, but they want to be the king too, and they can't get both. And what we doing is trying to make them submit when they're not going to submit. Why should they submit?
Hezekiah. Well, hold on, Hezekiah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the question. I hear everything you're saying, but the question comes back to this: why should Hezekiah Morris have to deal with what some other fella that she allows some other fella to do? Why would you have to deal with that?
Because I chose to take up that responsibility.
So you chose to be responsible for what another man did to her.
It depends on what I'm looking at it for, or what I'm going in it for. If I'm just going in it for one thing, I'm a play it how it needs to be played.
Well, we talking about marriages.
Everybody can have different kinds. You kind of see what I'm saying, Pat? We can have different kind of ways that we're going about. If we think, okay, well, we just want to be with this woman for this amount of time, we're going to do whatever. We don't care what she done been through. Or if we really want to be with that person, we're going to be patient with that woman. We're not going to worry about, oh, she needs to submit, she needs to do that. We're going to stick it out. We're going to help each other get through what we got to get through together. But today's world is all like it's full of games. A woman can be more independent. They can make more money without being with a man at home nowadays.
Hezekiah, let me stop you right there. I hear the notion that, the talk about women can make more money. Let me tell you something. According to Hezekiah, you've been around me a long time. According to blackdemographics.com, the average black woman, that includes women with degrees, earn $36,000 a year. Black men
Go
earn
to my Instagram page. Go to my Instagram page. See how much they make.
Huh? What did you say?
Go to my Instagram page and see how much they make. That's statistics.
So So can I jump in right here? Okay, like right here, this whole conversation, I'm watching it. We're having an objective conversation. Hezekiah, you're having a subjective conversation. You're speaking from personal experience. So objectively, being in general, meaning like take you out of it. Think about what I'm saying. Okay, when you talk about submission, you can only speak on it based on your own personal experience in life.
Anecdotal
experience. Anecdotal experience is an exception. It is not the rule. Generally speaking, the men on this panel, we've had a whole different conversation about this same subject, and now it's a different conversation because of your personal experience. So what I'm demonstrating right now is objective versus subjective. It's not my personal
experience. It's what I'm seeing, because you're seeing it from a different perspective, and I'm seeing it for what I see every day.
Yeah, you just said it again. I mean, you're making my point.
Hezekiah, you said that the things that men or black men have done to women, what exactly have we done to them over the past 10, 20, 30 years?
Stay at home over the years, keep them in the house, keep them hidden from doing things. to make them feel a part of.
Keep them in the house. Hezekiah, black women have been the head of the house since 1970. What are you talking about?
Have they really been? Everything
Yes,
that we
they really have been.
yes,
they have really been the head of the house, Hezekiah. Black women are still the head of the house right now.
For the most part, yeah, because there's no man in the house.
There's
the government made sure they took the man out the house. That was our number one priority. Take the man out the house.
That was a decision we made. Stop that. We need to stop this. My grandfather's generation, I call it the civil rights generation, who started accepting this garbage from them. That was a decision that generation made.
They did.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear nothing about. You weren't on the stream last week, Hezekiah, when I talked about conspiracy or economics. The conspiracy is the government came in and took us out of the house and separated us. That's not it. They don't. The government ain't got no. They don't benefit from keeping us down. They do benefit from keeping us apart. Those are very two different sets of things.
Yeah, because even during slavery, we were still married at what 80% rate.
Yes,
during civil rights era.
Up until 1965, 80%.
And now they're the most educated and also the most evicted. So they going to school to learn how to get put out. Like, you know what I'm saying? At some point, we got to respect somebody's outcomes. You know what I'm saying? Because if you want to talk about everything they've been through as if they make better decisions than we do, then we'd have to listen, because the person with the least amount of resources can't make the rules.
That's right.
So who we gonna listen to? The most evicted? Really, it boils down to who can take the problem, who can push the conversation into the problem solving and dialogue part, who can get past their feelings and stop talking all this subjective stuff, these feelings and their personal situations, and have an objective view of our culture and think about something greater than their own. All right, folks. Appreciate you sticking with me to the end. This has been another episode of Beyond the Algorithm. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Go get the book. And most importantly, I will see you beyond the algorithm, because that's where life actually happens.